Hellos! Welcome if you're new here. My name is Grace and I love plants. If you're interested to learn about new varieties or care tips, then definitely hit subscribe. I post videos every week. Today's video is part 3 of what turned out to be my houseplant collection series. For those of you who've seen part 1 and 2, thanks for coming back for the final installment. If you haven't seen part 1 and 2, I will link it in the description box below, so feel free to check it out if you're interested. Anyway guys, hope you had a great start to the new year, 2021, and without further ado, let's finish up the houseplant collection tour. Alright guys, so I am in the second bedroom in the apartment, and here I have a plant shelf and also a plant trolley for some miscellaneous bits and bobs. So I've got the blinds drawn half closed so as to protect the privacy of my neighbors, and so as not to have a backlit frame as well. So I'm going to try and show you all the plants that I have on this plant shelf really quickly. So right off the bat we see a string of pearls. I've moved it in here because something's happened to it. I believe I've over fertilized it and it's not really enjoying the balcony life at the moment, so I've moved it in here to get some north facing light, and I keep the windows open as well so that it gets a bit of air circulation on the top. So as you can see, there is a couple of new growth, but for a while it just wasn't loving life, and yeah, I just had to troubleshoot this guy. So that's a string of pearls, and on this side I have a begonia Nordic glacier that I'm currently rehabbing. On the top I have my Oxalis triangularis. It absolutely loves this spot and can do with a lot of sun exposure. Beside it I have a Oxalis tetraphylla, or the Iron Cross Oxalis. This one is a little bit sun damaged. That's why I turned it back facing this way so that it gets a little bit more shade from the full sun. But it's got a strange growth pattern. It's really gangly, so you can see that they're all turning back towards the light. And it is flowering. I'm not sure if you can tell that, but it's flowering. And here I have a Peperomia argyria, a watermelon peperomia. They do burn from too much sun, as you can see here, so I do have to rotate this every now and then just to make sure the growth is even and also that none of the leaves get burnt. So that's that guy. And here I just have some Rhaphidophora cryptantha and also I think a Hoya in there. I haven't found a plank for them yet, so I've just kept them in the Ziploc bag and placed them in this spot. So that's where they live at the moment. And then on the second rung I have a couple of plants. So this is two cuttings of a Cebu blue pothos. This is a Philodendron Florida Ghost. This is another Oxalis. I really don't remember the name of this one. And then next to it I have a Hoya Huskeliana. It's a little bit sun stressed, so the new growth comes out really pink, and I think that's super adorable. So that's this guy. Beside that I have a Hoya curtisii, this little guy right there. And next to it I have this Sinnigas leucotricha, which I showed in my fuzzy plants video, and this guy has grown quite significantly from that video. You can see the leaves have really enlarged. And then next to that we have this other Sinniga. This is a Sinniga crushed velvet. I've also shown this in a haul video, and as you can see it's really grown out from there, from that video, and there's also another new growth on the way. This one's a little bit sun stressed. You can see the tips are slightly purple, so I think that's quite interesting. The backs are looking fine, so I think it can handle a little bit more higher light. I'll report back otherwise. And beside that, I have a Haworthia compotiana. I also showed this in the haul video. It's still doing fine, except it's lost a leaf here. But otherwise, it's doing okay. And over here, I have another Pilea peperomioides pup that I propagated from the mother plant. And this here is a mini Ficus burgundy, a mini rubber tree. And this one here is a variegated heartleaf philodendron. I just love this guy. This is another duplicate plant of mine. I have another one sitting in the living room, as you might remember. But yeah, I just can't get enough of these guys. And moving on, we have here a Philodendron Burl Marks Fantasy that I have in Leca. I did put a cloche over it because the new growth came out a little bit wonky, probably because there wasn't enough humidity, and so I didn't want to repeat my mistake with this leaf here. So yeah, we'll see how that one turns out. And then the next rung, we have a couple of my prized plants. We have an Aglonema pictum tricolor. And here we have my mother plant, Pilea peperomioides. We have my Mandula plant. There is a Monsteras siltepecana in this corner. It is putting out 2 new growth. Just some baby ones. I'm not sure if you can tell. Yeah, here you go. Some 2 new shoots on this Monsteras siltepecana. And then I've got here Monstera El Salvador, or Siltepecana El Salvador, that has a new growth right here. And then in this corner I have my Philodendron lupinum that's put out a new leaf. It's just a baby one for now, but it's looking super cute. And then here is a Philodendron melanochrysum. It's also put out a new leaf that's looking pretty good. And this is a Philodendron majestic, another one. Yes, I have 2. You might remember the first one in part 1 of my houseplant collection tour. It put out this beautiful new leaf, absolutely stunning, just love it. So that's that one there. And then in here I have some Philodendron brantianums. It's a bit of an interesting setup. The cloche couldn't fit over it, so I had to elevate it with some post-it notes and things like that. I did keep them in sandwich bags so that they don't have mold, because they are made of paper. But yeah, that is the Philodendron brantianum. So that's that one there. And we move on to the last row. Here I have more random bits and bobs, and yes, I do keep my jewel orchids in this row. So let me show you around. This is a baby Philodendron soderoy. It's looking pretty good. This is a Philodendron, or I lie, this is not a Philodendron. This is an Anthurium clarinervium. So you would have seen this in a haul video. This is an Anthurium clarinervium seedling. I think they are all less than a year old. Probably a couple of months, maybe 8 or 9. Here is my Mycotis sanderiana. A new leaf is coming out and it's looking absolutely beautiful, so I'm really excited. And this is my Mycotis patola redform. In my previous video where I talked about the updated jewel orchid collection, I said I was going to film when these guys bloom. So this is partially bloomed now, so I'm really happy to be able to share this with you guys. Not sure if you can tell, but this is what the little blooms look like. Nothing really to shout about, but I think they are quite adorable. And then behind it I have my jewel orchid terrarium. I haven't landscaped it, or I haven't really changed it out, but I will very soon. You can see the flower spikes are really starting to take off in there. Here I have my two lone, well, I guess they're not lone anymore if they are two of them, but I do have these two jewel orchids. Here I have a Christia obcordata seedling. Here I have some variegated chain of heart propagations that are going. Whoops. They're good. And then this is a Christia vespertilionis that is just struggling to hold on. I don't think it's going to make it, but that's fine. I've got two other seedlings going in my prop box. And then this is my Scindapsus pictus tribii moonlight. Really excited about this one. The new leaves are absolutely perfect, and there is 2 growth points on this plant. So I'm really hoping that this will bush out very soon. So that's this one here. I have a Tradescantia nanook that I did chop and repot back together. That's what it's looking like. Behind that I do have a red vein Phytonia. And then I've got some Begonia maculata whitei. And here is a Kalanchoe tomentosa, which I showed in the fuzzy plant video. And this is a Hoya retusa. That's doing much better than the winter. Yeah, man, that's the jewel orchid terrarium. Some new leaves and new leaf there. And this Dulcinea marmorata is going to unfurl as well. This leaf here looks like a big one too. Alright, so that's all the plants on this plant shelf. And here I have my plant trolley. I just have my Musaica on here, my Peperomia pink lady that is putting out so many new leaves, and some of them are actually looking quite pink, like these ones down here. Ooh, this one. I hope that's gonna be a nice looking leaf. So that's this guy. And I have also another Peperomia argyria here. I have my rehabbing Anthurium crystallinum and my 2 seedlings. And these are some giveaway prizes that I will be handing over to the winner very soon. And in here I have some Philodendron brantianum propagations that are going. I'm just propagating a whole bunch of Philodendron brantianums in here. That's where they live. And in this corner is where my Mycons is currently living. I don't really know what to do with this big pot. It used to be more lush, but I propagated a whole bunch of Mycons, as you would have seen in the first video, and this one is doing really well, so I don't really want to disturb it very much. The leaves are these large, gorgeous, velvety green with this beautiful burgundy backs, and it's just enjoying climbing up this rolling shutter blind thingamajig. It's really gone all the way up there, and each leaf is just absolutely perfect. So I don't really want to move this around too much. Yeah, so this is where it lives. I hope you can see that. So I believe that is all the plants that I have in my collection at the end of 2020 or the start of 2021. There may be one or two that I missed out because I do tend to move my plants around a lot. And if you are anything like me, please let me know in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the plants that I have and also where they live. If you enjoyed this video, then do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you want to see more content from me. I post videos every week. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!